Hey guys, I'm Flip, and if you're new to the channel, I usually cover anime and manga, but going forward, I'm going to be covering Blu-rays, whether it being anime, to Arrow, to Criterion, and in this specific video, we're taking a look at every Criterion release that came out in the month of September. Now, I do not claim to be a film critic, I'm just an average guy who likes good movies, and this is going to be a rapid-fire review pace. So if you want in-depth reviews, I highly suggest you check out someone like Daisuke Beppu. He does really good breakdowns of almost every single Criterion film that comes out. He is a walking encyclopedia when it comes to the Criterion collection. Now, this month may be Criterion's best month. Yeah, I think 2020 overall has been kind of a bad year for all of us, right, guys? But I think the saviors have been labels like Discotheque, like Arrow, and especially Criterion. So we're going to be taking a look at every release that came out in September. And like I said, rapid-fire reviews. Don't expect anything too in-depth. This is just my opinions and my thoughts on every single thing that came out this month. And I do plan on doing this for the rest of the year. All the releases for October, November, December are things that have caught my attention, and I'm really excited to check out. So they kick things off with two Jules Dassin's films. This is Spy number 380, so it previously had a DVD release, and we're talking about Naked City. Now, I did not enjoy this film that much. I'm happy to have it in my collection, but I found the dialogue and the acting to be kind of poor. But the city shots and how real it felt, it was almost like a documentary at times. I felt like I was there. I did enjoy that aspect of it, but this isn't something I'm going to be returning to anytime soon. But if you want some good cinematography, some gorgeous shots, this is the movie for you. This came out in 1948. It is 96 minutes. So like I said, it's not a terribly long watch, and it did go by pretty fast, but I'm not going to be returning to it, but I'm happy to have it in my collection. Now, the other Jules Dassin's film might be one of my favorite releases of the year, and we're talking about Brute Force, starring the gorgeous Burt Lancaster. This is Spy number 383. So like Naked City, it had previously had a DVD release. This is also a 98-minute film, and this is one of the best prison escape films I've ever seen in my life. I loved it. Now, they did say at the beginning of this that, hey, we had some problems with the restoration. The master tapes were lost. And there was one specific part, I'm not going to knock it any points because of this, but I just thought they had, for them saying they had such trouble getting it to look as good as it does, and it looks great. There was one scene where I saw like a line through my television, and that was because of the restoration process. They had such a trouble finding the master tapes and doing all that hard work, and it really paid off. This is a fantastic looking film. Now, some great acting on this film. I think Burt Lancaster obviously steals the show, but the whole cast in the prison is fantastic. You really feel like you're one of the boys. You feel like you're there. And the last 30 minutes are some awesome action sequences. I highly suggest you pick this up. This, in my opinion, is a must-have. Now, my favorite release of the month of September is Claire Denis's film, Beau Travail. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm terrible at pronouncing foreign names. Like, I'm a huge fan of anime, and I still mess up Japanese directors' names all the time. So this film is Spy number 1042, so it is a new film in the Criterion Collection. It came out in 1999, and it runs for 93 minutes. This is just a tale of regret, a deconstruction of masculinity, and it's got a seductive undertone to it. I really like this film quite a bit. A lot of the drills that the soldiers are doing, because it also touches on like colonialism, because this is the French what are the French Foreign Legion there in Africa, and there is just, and all the drills are like choreographed, and the ending dance, the best use of rhythm of the night, I have to say. I loved it. I was absolutely floored by that ending. The supplemental materials, this is the only disc that I've dived through every single thing on here, because I was so engrossed with this film. And it's going to be kind of funny looking back on this, if I keep this in my collection 20 years from now, 10 years from now even, going back and looking, because a lot of the interviews are done through Zoom. So it's going to be pretty funny to look back and be like, oh yeah, there was a world pandemic happening during this time. But I think this is a must have. Beau Travail, and I love that. I love that cover. I think Claire has made the male body such a exquisite thing to look at. It's such a breathtaking film. And then they released a new film, which I'm actually really happy this has a release in the Criterion Collection, because this is a film that I have seen before and something I have a personal history with. The next two, or there's gonna be two films in this collection that in this video that I've had a personal connection to, and one of them is Christ Stopped at Eboli. This is spy number 1043. This is a long movie. It's 220 minutes. This is the entire cut, because there's 2 different cuts, I believe, doing some research on this film. This is the full thing. This came out in 1979. It's in Italian with English subtitles. And I have family who are from Sicily. My family are immigrants from Sicily. And someone who has been to Italy, and especially Sicily. When you think of Italy, you think of grand, like you think of these beautiful cities like Rome and Naples. But honestly, a lot of Italy and a lot of Sicily are grimy, like this film. Like this film accurately depicts what a lot of the country is like. A lot of the country is super, super poor. A lot of the country is like almost a third world country at times. And this film accurately depicts it. It has a very somber tone throughout the film, but the overall message is no matter how dark things get, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I highly suggest you guys pick this up. This is a film that I wouldn't say is very near and dear to my heart, but it's a film I really respect, and it's a film I really, truly appreciate. And I have kind of a personal connection with it. So go pick it up. This is Christ Stopped at Eboli. Now, this is something I did not know, because this year I really got into collecting Blu-rays, but Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive on all 6 films, because I could be here for about an hour talking about each one, because I enjoyed, this is the first time I picked up a box set. I blind bought this. I saw Martin Scorsese's name. I did some research on the whole project. This is volume 3. There's 2 other ones I need to pick up, but I loved every single film in this box set. Now, a little interesting note for collectors is that the box set is spy number 1044, but then every film has its own spy number as well. So you get films from Indonesia, you get films from Cuba, Brazil, Mexico, Iran, and I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm terrible with names, so I'm not even going to try to butcher that name. But the absolute highlight of this package is Pixote. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's from Brazil in 1980, and it is the darkest film I have seen all year. It rivals Come and See with how bleak and depressing the film is, but it is such a work of art, and I highly suggest this. Price of admission alone is for that. The rest of the films are fantastic. Lucia is about 3 women in Cuba, all named Lucia, and it's like different stories. I really like that idea. That was made in 1968. After the Curfew is also fantastic. Dos Manes, which means 2 monks, is a really cool film about 2 monks. One of them dies, they like attack each other, and it kind of goes back and it tells you the story and the events that led up to it. Overall, a really amazing package. I really love the presentation of this thing, and I'm definitely going to be picking up the other 2 box sets. Now, a film that was one of my favorite films of all time, and it is a film I have a very deep connection to, like Christ Stopped at Eboli, and that is The Elephant Man by David Lynch, and they are continuing the digipack for all David Lynch releases. I love this artwork so much. So my connection to this film is in high school, I played The Elephant Man in a school play, and I actually had to watch this over and over again to learn how to move like the Elephant Man, to learn how to speak like the Elephant Man, to get that dialogue down. And I think David Lynch's adaptation on this poor guy's life is such a beautiful tale. And honestly, if you told me that if like I didn't know going into this film that that's John Hurt, you would have absolutely no idea. It also starts the amazing Anthony Hopkins. This is, I think, David Lynch's best film in my personal opinion, and I highly suggest you guys pick this up. It's a gut-wrenching tale, and I think the Elephant Man is one of the most fascinating humans to have ever lived, and it's a very sad story. So be warned going into it. It came out in 1980, and I love the way David Lynch filmed this. It almost feels like a period piece. It's filmed in black and white. It's such a damn good movie, and I highly suggest you guys pick it up. And that has been the releases for September. Let me know what you guys think of the video down below. Do you guys like this style of content? I love Blu-rays, and I'm going to be putting out more content here soon. So I'll see you guys next time.